Hauwa, a recent graduate eager to start a National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), is sent to a far and dangerous place in northern Nigeria, where kidnappings and violence are on the rise. With the fear of being kidnapped and the unstable political situation around her, Hauwa must use her courage and quick thinking to get through her service. As things get worse, she stumbles upon a shocking secret tied to the kidnappings. Now, she has to choose whether to stay quiet or risk everything to reveal the truth. Welcome to Folktales by Joy. Hauwa was posted to a dangerous area in the northern Nigeria for her National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) assignment. The village of Hauwa, where she was sent, had been plagued by kidnappings, and the local authorities seemed powerless or unwilling to stop it. Hauwa felt the tension in the air from the moment she arrived, but she knew she had to complete her service year despite the dangers. Hauwa tried to settle into her new life, teaching at the local school and becoming friends with her fellow corps members, including Aisha, who shared her concerns about the growing threat of kidnappings. Despite the warnings from her family and friends back home, Hauwa refused to leave Hauwa. She felt a strong sense of duty to the people in the village, particularly the girls who were at the highest risk of being taken by the kidnappers. One night, while Hauwa and Aisha were in their shared apartment, they heard loud noises coming from outside. Armed men had entered the village, and before they could react, the kidnappers stormed their apartment and took Aisha. Hauwa was devastated, but determined to do whatever it took to find her friend. She felt guilty for not being able to protect her and knew she had to take action, even though she was terrified. Hauwa, with the help of Musa, a local hunter who knew the forest well, and Tunde, a journalist who had come to the area to investigate the kidnappings, began looking for clues about where the kidnappers were keeping Aisha and the other girls. The authorities weren't doing enough, so they took matters into their own hands. Hauwa went to the local elders and begged them for help, but most of them either didn't care or were too afraid to challenge the kidnappers. Days turned into weeks, and there was still no sign of Aisha. Hauwa didn't give up though. She continued working with Musa and Tunde, and eventually they got a break. Musa learned about a hidden camp deep in the forest where the kidnapped girls were being held. It was dangerous, but Hauwa knew they had to act fast before the kidnappers moved them again. With the help of the local hunters, Hauwa and Musa planned a rescue mission. They carefully mapped out the area and waited for the right time to strike. Under the cover of darkness, Hauwa, Musa, and the hunters made their way into the forest. They moved quietly, knowing that one wrong move could mean disaster. When they reached the kidnappers' camp, they found Aisha and many girls being held in horrible conditions. Hauwa's heart broke seeing her friend so weak and scared, but she quickly sprang into action. She and the hunters managed to free the girls without alerting the kidnappers. As they made their way out of the camp, they knew it wouldn't be long before the kidnappers realized what had happened. Hauwa, Musa, and the hunters led the girls through the forest, trying to avoid any path where the kidnappers might be. But as they neared the village, they were spotted. A fierce fight broke out between the hunters and the kidnappers, but in the end, they managed to escape and bring the girls back to safety. Aisha was weak and shaken, but alive. Hauwa stayed by her side, helping her recover from the trauma of her ordeal. The other girls were also reunited with their families, and there was a sense of relief in the village. But Hauwa knew this wasn't the end. The kidnappers were still out there, and as long as they roamed free, no one in the village was truly safe. Tunde, determined to help Hauwa, published stories about the kidnappings and the corrupt officials who had allowed it to continue for so long. Slowly, more people began paying attention. Authorities were forced to respond, and an investigation into the kidnappings was launched. Hauwa and Musa continued gathering information, feeding it to Tunde so he could expose the truth. But just as they thought things were getting better, the kidnappers retaliated. They attacked the village, burning homes and taking more girls. Hauwa barely escaped with her life. The attack shattered the sense of safety they had started to build, and Hauwa realized that the fight was far from over. Musa, always resourceful, soon discovered the location of the kidnappers' main base. Hauwa knew they had to act quickly or more lives would be lost. With the hunters' help, they planned another assault on the base, but this time it would be much more dangerous. The base was heavily guarded, and Hauwa feared they wouldn't all make it out alive. The night of the assault, Hauwa led the team into the forest again. This time, there was no room for mistakes. The fight was intense, and Hauwa found herself face to face with the leader of the kidnappers, a ruthless man known only as Alhaji. He tried to intimidate her, but Hauwa refused to back down. She distracted him long enough for Musa and the hunters to finish the mission, capturing Alhaji and freeing the rest of the captives. The villagers were overjoyed when the girls returned, but Hauwa knew that the real battle had just begun. The investigation into the kidnappings uncovered a shocking level of corruption, with high-ranking officials involved in the syndicate. Hauwa and Tunde worked tirelessly to expose the truth, even as those in power tried to silence them. Despite the threats and dangers, Hauwa refused to give up. The corrupt officials were eventually arrested, and the village of Kausa began to rebuild. Hauwa, who had once been an outsider, was now a respected figure in the community. She helped set up programs to support the girls who had been rescued, ensuring they received the care they needed to heal. Months later, as the village slowly returned to normal, Hauwa prepared to leave Kausa and return home. She had come to the village as a young woman, hoping to complete her service year, but she was leaving as someone who had changed the lives of countless people. She said goodbye to Aisha, knowing their bond would last forever. As Hauwa walked away from the village, she felt a deep sense of pride. She had survived unimaginable danger and helped bring justice to a place where it seemed impossible. The forgotten girl had become a symbol of strength and hope, and though her journey in Kausa was over, she knew the lessons she had learned would stay with her forever. The moral of the story is that courage and determination can overcome even the greatest of dangers. Hauwa's journey teaches us that standing up against injustice even when faced with overwhelming odds, can make a difference. Through her resilience and selflessness, she shows the importance of fighting for what's right, protecting those who are vulnerable, and not giving up in the face of fear and corruption. It also highlights the power of unity, as working together with others can lead to greater change and the triumph of good over evil. So this is the end of the story, The Forgotten Girl. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.
Educating hearts, crossing time, intriguing tales with every scene, moral threads in all we dream. Oh, activating minds, oh we shine, educating hearts, crossing time, intriguing tales with every scene, moral threads in all we dream. Every story a light in the dark, we bring the spark, we leave our mark. I paint the sky with stories bold, ancient wisdom new and old, capturing hearts, feeding souls, together we're reaching for greater goals. So come along, let's journey wide through the stories that we provide, with morals that will set you free. Discover what life's meant to be.